There is only one person which can decide whether you're successful or a failure. If your life is gonna be extremely easy or extremely hard. And you already know the answer. You have seen it in 1,000 videos. That person is you. But there is one particular aspect about you that people don't think about. They don't tell you about. And that thing, that aspect alone, is enough to make you the most successful person in the world or completely ruin your life. If you don't care about learning what it is and you don't care about watching this video, please click off. I don't want to hook you into watching a video that is not gonna help you. I'm just here to give value for free without expecting anything in return. So, if you're interested in learning about this, watch the video. If you're not, click off, I don't care. That aspect of your life, which is gonna be the most decisive in seeing if you're gonna be successful or not, is how you think. And mind you, not your mindset, not your way of thinking, but how well you can think, how well you can decide, how well your mind can process the information that you are receiving and make something out of it. This is something that you might hear a lot, but not in the form of what I'm telling you right now. People talk about mindset, like your mindset is like what you think about, or what your mind is focused towards. It can be success, it can be whatever. But how you think, it's completely different. It is how fast and how well you can process the information that you receive and how well you can handle the stress based on those informations. Let's say something horrible happens. Okay, let's say in your business, let's not go like into the life, let's say like your mom dies. Let's say you lose all of your money. How well can you recover from that and think about what's the next move and have a framework in your mind which helps you decide that? That's how you think. That's how you think well. And this might sound a little bit confusing, but it is easy because I'm not here to teach you a specific framework, because I don't believe in frameworks for everyone that work for everyone and all of that stuff, especially when it comes to thinking. I want you to understand how important it is so you can then create your own frameworks. In my mind, I have 1,000 frameworks that every time something bad happens or something good happens, I know how to act. Something bad happens, okay, I have to do this. I have to think through these steps. Something good happens, okay, don't get excited, analyze and go through these steps. That's how you want to be. You want to have a structured mind, so you're more responsive to whatever happens in your life. You want to have some frameworks which help you to navigate through both bad and good things that happen in your life. Because if something good happens and you have nothing to do with it, you don't analyze it truly, it's gonna become a bad thing eventually. If you make a lot of money and you don't analyze how you made money, you're most likely gonna lose all of the money and you're not gonna be able to make it again because you didn't analyze. If something bad happens and you don't analyze and have a framework for it, that bad thing is gonna happen, and it's gonna happen again because you didn't analyze it, so you don't know how to prevent it. That's how important it is. And that's why, in my opinion, is probably the most important skill in business. Is because building your business is it's literally just overcoming problem after problem till you can use that problem in your advantage. You know, you maybe, I don't know how to get leads, you learn how to get leads, and then you use, since you learn how to get leads, that's the next step. That's the next step on the ladder, on the stair. And the secret to overcoming this stuff as fast as possible is by knowing how to think, is knowing how to process the information, how to process the problem, and then have the solution. I think it's Einstein that said something along the lines of, if you give me 1 hour to solve a problem, I will spend 59 minutes analyzing it. And that's in a nutshell how business works. If you can solve a problem fast enough, you can grow at an incredible rate. There are businesses who solve one or two problems at best per month. If you can solve one a week, you're going 4 times faster than them. If you can solve one a day, you're going 30 times faster than them. You have to learn. I don't want to repeat myself too much. This is like the last time I'm gonna say it. But every single time a problem comes, because business, I want to imagine you that the difference between you making 0 to 10k, 10k to 100k, or 100k to 1 million per month is just a certain number of problems. That's the best way to think about it, in my opinion. Is that from 0 to 10k, let's say, you have 100 problems. You want to go through them as fast as possible. You have, I don't even know what a business is at the start. Okay, this is a business, what do I do? Okay, my niche, okay, my target, okay, how does this work? How do I sell? You go through everything and you have 100 problems. If you can go through them fast enough, you can get from 0 to 10k in 1 month. If you can just go through all of the problems. From 10k to 100k, maybe there is 150, 200. But now, the difference why you can go there faster than you can probably go from 0 to 10k. I've seen a lot of people go faster to 100k from 10k, then I've seen people go from 0 to 10k. And the difference is that now you have the experience and the knowledge to process this information faster. That's your new way of thinking. And most people do it passively, do it just unconsciously. That if you can actually think about it and do it purposefully, you're gonna be so much faster. I don't like to use myself as an example, but I want to say that this is why I got to 10k so fast. I started my business without knowing anything. And in 4 months I learned English. I didn't know a single word, and I learned it in 4 months to a basic level, so just enough I could speak. Started to take my first sales calls, and after probably 4 months of my first sales call, closed my first client. After the 5th month, so 1 month after I closed my first client, I made 20k per month. And so basically it took me 9 months in total between learning English and building a business and then getting to 20k per month. And the month after winning the school games. And all of that happened because the first step was analyzed what was my biggest problem. Didn't want to sell in the Italian market. I'm Italian, I didn't like the market. So okay, first problem, I don't know how to speak English. Learned that 4 months, studied hours and hours every single day. Worked my ass off, learn how to speak the language pretty fast. Second step, how does business work? Okay, I don't know how business works. Just gonna, trying to figure out on my own, and I built a sort of. This is why I encourage people to try to learn stuff from themselves before they watch videos and stuff like that. Is because I didn't know much about business, but I built my own idea of business. Which then, when I got information from other people, courses and all of that stuff, it helped me to not be manipulated by, them trying to sell me a course or all of that stuff, because I was like, okay, that isn't the way I thought it was, but I'm gonna try my way. I'm gonna just get this information and implement it to my way, and it worked. And for the first few months I was getting 0 sales calls, 0 everything, and I just kept analyzing what am I doing wrong, 1 month after all of these tiny improvements, which might have looked just like I solved one big problem, from 0 to solving a big problem, but it was actually every day, okay, this method doesn't work, this method doesn't work, and analyzing it every single day. This is why I say that if you solve a problem every single day, you can be 30 times faster than the guy who solves it every month. I was solving these mini problems, At the end of the month, I knew how to get calls. The month after, I booked 200 sales calls, and out of those 200 sales calls, I made 20k because I was shit, because I was an horrible closer. Then I learned how to close, and it just kept spiraling up and up and up and up and up. This is why thinking is so important. And another thing is people just think about the first order consequences. That's what they're called. Is when you do an action and there is a direct response from it. I kick a wall and I feel the pain. That's the first consequence of it. But I don't think about what happens. And this is both from the positive and negative side. They send outreach, they don't get a response, they think, okay, outreach sucks. But they don't think about the fact that in 2 weeks from now, the guy might respond because he was on a trip. Or they don't think that those outreach, this message sent is gonna make them better, and by making them better, they're gonna book more calls. People don't think about what happens after that. And this is another great way of thinking when it comes to improving is, if I do this action, what happens after that? And after that, and after that, and after that. Both positive and negative consequences. If if I don't work today, what happens? Okay, if I don't work today, on 2 days, nothing is gonna happen, I'm not gonna work, so I'm not gonna send outreach. I'm not gonna send outreach, so I'm not gonna book calls. I'm not gonna book calls, so probably not gonna close clients. Not gonna close clients, so I'm not gonna make money. I'm not gonna make money, so I'm not gonna have a business. I'm not gonna have a business, so I have to get a job. And you go down until at some point there is like, I die. you know. And if you think about it in this way, it's very hard not to work. It's very hard not to make the right decision, because what happens after that, you can think in a very long-term way. Positive stuff as well is, you know, basic stuff like I send out. Which actually, let me do. I do content. Okay, today I get 0 views, or I get 10 views. Nothing happens. Tomorrow, still. The day after, the day after, the day after, the day after, but I get better. The day after nothing happens, but I get better. The day after nothing happens, but I get better. 20 views, but I get better. 30 views, but I get better. 40 views, but I get better. Go back to 20 views, but I get better. Eventually, after 150, 200, like 200 order of these consequences, what happens is, oh, I got better. Oh, one video got 100k views or 10k views. Now I got, 200, 300 warm leads on my funnel. I'm making so much more money. And that was after all of these consequences that people don't think about. Yeah. And I just want to finish by just giving an advice that I like the other person know, which is every single time I don't know what to do, or I encounter a big problem and I don't know how to act based on it, the best solution is to stop and use your mind like it's some sort of AI, like let's say you're speaking with ChatGPT. Okay, I like to do that, and what I do is like try to speak externally to your mind. It's like you're extremely emotional, maybe you are, or you don't know what to do, you don't know how to make a decision. Ask your mind. Literally, just ask your mind and use it like ChatGPT. This worked for me wonders, because it removes the emotions. You still have obviously emotions, because that's a normal human thing, but it removes most of them from, and it goes from what do I want to do to what I actually need to do, and it goes from thinking about what's the next move, but having in your mind, oh, I really don't want to do that, I really want to do that, to that's actually the thing I gotta do. So next time something bad or positive happens, try to use your mind like ChatGPT and build frameworks on it. I pull out frameworks on my mind, like I'm asking ChatGPT, do you remember that conversation we had? When something bad happens, I'm like, how do I used to solve this? Oh yeah, that way. Bam. So that's it for this video. I hope this video helped you. If you have any questions, or you think this video sucked, or you have any type of feedbacks, leave it in the comment. I appreciate it. In the description, I have some links and stuff that I think can be useful for your journey. None of it goes directly to me. I'm not making money from this. Some of it are referrals, and I'm gonna leave which is in the description on the link. Hope you like this video. Go watch the next one. See ya.